Good morning. My name is Joseph D. Harris. I'm a counselor and an author. I was a counselor in New York for 45 years, studying the drug addicted mind. The last 30 years, I worked at Good Samaritan Hospital and the detox and drug rehabilitation unit. Lots of fun for me. I love getting inside of the drug addicted mind. Now, I want to show you my three books. My first book, Escape from Critical Confusion, is an autobiographical textbook where I talk about, growing up in New York City, poor, father an alcoholic, the influences in that household, how a kid gets into juvenile delinquency and commits crime, gets caught and does it again and again and again, how someone gets into drug addiction and how to come out of it. That's the escape. 5 stars on Amazon. My second book, Black America, Breaking the Code, talks about so many of our contributions to the country, our need to understand that we're citizens. I have a chapter on women, a chapter on men, different ideas on how to uplift ourselves as Black Americans. Very powerful book. And my third book is Drug Addiction, the Most Powerful Enemy Against It, A Recovering Sober Mind. And this is the book that I've been talking about. I'm talking about this one first, and I've been talking about it for the past couple of weeks. And today I want to talk a little bit about relapse prevention. And one of the first things that we need to understand as a drug addicted person is there's a difference between the drugged brain and the sober brain. We must understand that if we're going to beat this fellow. Because when the mind is conditioned to think and react to the commands of drug addiction, and we get sober in early recovery, those thoughts are still there. Those commands are still there. So our job is to understand that I'm sober today and I can assess those thoughts. I can use my intelligence to figure out what they mean. So the first thing that we have to do in assessing those thoughts is identify that these are deadly, dangerous, poisonous thoughts. They're a threat, an intent to hurt me or destroy me. That's what relapse thinking is about. So what we want to do is we want to keep our focus on recovery thinking. How do I do that? How do I keep my focus on recovery thinking if I am in a weakened state, like in detox? How I'm going to keep my focus on recovery thinking is I'm going to, like I said, first of all, identify those thoughts as a threat. And then I'm going to use some of my internal recovery tools. There are two different types of recovery tools. There's the external recovery tools, counselors like me, social workers, psychiatrists, nurses, people in the room, sponsors, family members that love us. And then there's internal recovery tools, what I'm bringing with me to fight my addiction. So one of those internal recovery tools is honesty. Part of honesty means I will not deceive myself about these thoughts related to addiction. So when I start thinking about getting a shot of dope, when I'm in this weakened state in detox, or even after rehab, or I'm out of rehab, and I get this thought, my first thought is going to be, I need to know the truth about this thought. Because, drug addiction has a way of deceiving the mind. Part of deceive means to escape detection. So when I get this thought in my head, I will not allow my addiction to escape detection. I'm going to know exactly who he is. Deadly poison enemy who has tortured me for years, sometimes 5, 10, 15, 20 years, 30 years. Some people can live that long with torture and slavery. So when I get this thought, when that craving strikes, and I remember craving is a feeling, and part of feeling means thought and perception. So when I get that thought of using, I'm going to be honest with myself. I will not allow that thought to escape detection. And I'm going to use my other internal tool, determination, to refuse to cooperate with addiction, any relapse thought. I'm going to use that one as well, in conjunction with my reality thinking related to relapse. So we're in recovery. We get ambushed by our addiction out of nowhere. That ambush can come from anywhere. I could be happy, I could be sad, I could be with my children, and I get ambushed with a craving. And when I get ambushed, I need to know that I'm in control. I'm definitely in control. Like so many people talk about, drug addicted people are weak. They have no control over themselves. Yes, when I'm using every day, to a certain extent, I have no control. But even when I'm using during a moment of sanity, I have a certain amount of control over myself because human beings are so powerful. That's how we get into detox and rehab. Full blown addicted, using $100 worth of heroin a day, using coke, smoking marijuana, and I still get myself into detox and rehab. That's a powerful individual, and that's who drug addicted people are. Strong, intelligent. Only time that you weaken and that intelligence goes away is when my brain is drugged. So we want to know I'm in control. Part of control means to regulate. So I'm going to be able to regulate my thoughts. I'm not going to react to them. As soon as I get craving, I just react to it like I did when I was full blown and under the authority of drugs before I went into detox. So I'm going to regulate those thoughts. I get a thought, relax myself, think about it. What does this thought mean? Does it mean that it's going to bring me more health? Is it going to bring me money? Is it going to make me strong? What does this thought really mean? We have to outthink our addiction and this battle to save our life. Because remember, you're at war with drugs, whether you know it or not. You're at war with drugs. And if you look at your history, you can see that the drugs are trying to destroy you. They take away things that you love. They take away people in your life that you love. They put you in jail. They make you homeless. They get you cut, shot, stabbed in the street. All of these things are done by an enemy. That's not a friend. So when I'm thinking about using and I identify these thoughts as a threat, an intent to hurt, maim, and destroy me, now I'm beginning to start the process of retraining myself how to think. No matter how I feel, I could be sick and withdrawal. I could be angry. I could be frustrated. I still have the ability with my sober mind to assess those thoughts. And with practice, you get real good at it. Practice develops skills. So we want to practice over and over again. Every time he attacks us, we attack him right back with honesty. We attack him right back again with determination. So we want to know, in the broadest sense, once I cleanse my body and mind from these drugs and I'm in detox and rehab, drug addiction is over for me. I don't care what anybody else says that they can't stop, or that's on them. But remember, all of these myths about what drug addicted people cannot do and can do came because somebody said it. Oh, you're never going to be able to stop using. Somebody said it. You're always going to be an addict. Somebody said, what does that mean? I'm always going to be an addict. What does that mean? Does it mean that I'm always going to have to be afraid? Oh, my addiction is going to jump out of the sky and grab me and drag me into the shooting gallery. The liquor store. It's going to drag. Is that what it means? From what I understand, talking to people who say that all the time, it means that I can't use, which is true, because it all started with a little bit. So I can't go back, but I can recover and I can stay sober for the rest of my life because I'm a human being. We're creatures of habit. Human beings are creatures. So we're creatures of habit. So drug addiction is totally against my nature as a human being. However, because I'm a human being, I can adjust to it. It's self-destructive. It's a form of slavery. It's torture. It takes me down to my lowest level of a human being. But because I'm a human being, I can adjust to it. So what makes me think that I can adjust to my sober life where I'm getting healthier and stronger and happier every single day? I'm getting stronger, healthier. I'm feeling better about myself. What makes me think that I can't adjust to my natural human being state, which is sobriety, where I'm going to be at my strongest? Because my addiction has trained my brain to make me believe that I can. And I've heard people say, in treatment, man, I don't think I can live sober, man. I've been getting high so long. Well, you in for a treat. The people that think that way, you in for a treat. Because sobriety is going to bring you so many good feelings. Remember, a high is only a good feeling. That's all it is. If I said to you, come on, I'm going to, take you to Macy's and buy you $1,000 worth of clothes. You start fantasizing about what you're going to buy. The ladies and the guys that get there, they try on stuff. It looks good. Oh man, this looks like you feel good. If I said, come on, I'm going to take you to this Italian restaurant over here, on 19, that's really good food. You start fantasizing about the food, how good it's going to be. When you get there, the food is great. I feel so good. Same goes if I say I'm going to take you, I know where that best heroin is. You start fantasizing about it. If you go over there and you get it, you're going to feel good. So a high is only a good feeling. Why do I have to destroy myself just to feel good? I didn't have to do it before I started getting high. I was hanging out with my friends, got my girl or my guy, I'm riding my bicycles, I'm swimming, I'm doing listening to music, hanging out with family members that I love and friends, feeling good. So when I come off the drug and I stay sober long enough, we're not talking about coming off the drug and the same day you're going to feel good. You've done so much damage to yourself that it's going to take you time to heal from the damage. So during that process of me healing, I'm re-entering the sober world and I'm learning more and more and more about ways that I can feel good. Well, I can go swimming and feel good. I can go shopping and feel good. I can watch a good movie and feel good. I never forget working in detox and rehab. And sometimes I'd walk past the dining room, and the patients are laughing and talking and just having a ball. And I go in there and I say, hey, everybody stops and listens. So I thought you guys said you couldn't have fun in sobriety. And this is the beginning of your sobriety. Just imagine if you continue this when you leave and I walk away. Because people don't even realize how much fun they're having in early recovery. Then I've heard people say, man, I haven't had so much fun in 20 years. Haven't laughed so much since I've been here in detox and rehab. So when you start getting into the life of recovery and your mind is focused, I refuse to cooperate with my addiction. Every time he attacks me, I'm going to identify those thoughts and know exactly what they mean again and again and again. And every time you refuse to cooperate with your addiction and relapse, you're getting a little bit stronger and your addiction is getting a little bit weaker every single time. You don't feel it, but that's what's taking place. And then after a while, a week, 2 weeks, a month, 2 months, 6 months, a year, and you see the difference, man. And somebody sees you, you say, man, you look so different. What are you doing? I've been sober for a year, man, with a big smile on your face. I've never seen a person who has been sober for a year or more and say, man, I'm so sorry that I decided to get into recovery. Never. I've never heard a person say, oh man, I had a wonderful relapse. It was so good, ever. Because relapse is always torture. Now I go into this much more in depth in the book. When you guys get the book and read it, you will see so much more information that you can use to help you stay sober. And that's what I want you to do. I want every drug addicted person on this planet to stay sober. And I know that you have the ability to do it. So keep in mind, the first thing that you must do is understand that there's a difference between the drug out of control brain that has power over your thinking, all your chemicals in the brain are distorted and just sending you all kind of crazy messages, and the sober mind. There's a difference. So in that sober mind, you can see people, when people first come into detox, I remember guys coming in so messed up, sick, the first day just so sick and hardly talk. And even the next day, you can see a difference in the person. And then after a week, after a week, huge difference. After 1 week of being sober, we used to have 28 days. After a month of being sober, there's a total different person, even after 1 month. So remember, the guy comes into treatment, weak, brain is jumbled up, and then after a while, everything starts to change, and after a month, he's 10 times as strong as he was when he came into detox. 10 times as strong as he was. So you can imagine, after 1 month, I'm 10 times as strong as I was before I came into detox. And now 6 months goes by. Can you imagine how strong you're going to be? And that brain is constantly focused on battle, not submitting to your addiction, constantly fighting him. One of the problems with the drug addicted person is they see themselves as being too weak to fight. You cannot win any battle going into battle thinking you're going to lose. You have to know that you're going to win, because you have to, as a human being, we conquer everything, all kinds of diseases. They say, cancer, you know, is the most deadly disease on the planet. Cancer is 1,000 times more deadly and difficult to overcome than drug addiction. Drug addiction is not elusive. You can catch it. It's like when you go on the detox and you stop it right there. So if I continue to nurture myself, my addiction can't come back without me. Once I get sober, my addiction cannot come back without me. I have to bring him back into my life. I can think about him, you know, I can, talk about him, but I have to go get the drug to start that whole relapse process over again. And as long as I don't go get that drug, my recovery is continuing. And I'm getting stronger and stronger and stronger every second, every minute, every hour, even while I'm sleeping. So as long as I focus on struggle and combat and know that I'm in charge, because you're in control. This is your life. You're sober now. Once you get sober, it's your life. You're in control. Your addiction can't come and get you. So many people are afraid of drug addiction. I ask people, what is the worst thing that can happen if you had a super craving and you didn't get high? What's the worst thing that can happen? And they look at me for a few seconds. Nothing. And that's right. If you have the worst craving, and what one of the powerful tools to use when you refuse to cooperate with your addiction is you say to yourself, if it's going to kill me not to get high, I'm going to have to die. Come on, addiction. Let's rumble for my life, because I'm not going back to you. I want to see what you can do, because I'm in charge. I'm the human being. You have no brain, no legs, no nothing. All you can do is send me thoughts and feelings. That's all your addiction can do, is send you thoughts and feelings. And when I'm sober, I can assess those thoughts. I can assess those feelings. The feeling level in us is the childish level. I want what I want when I want it. We're not going to let that little 2-year-old pull us back to drugs again. I hope we don't. It would be a very foolish thing to do. But you have to build on your confidence. And how you do that is refusing to cooperate. It's only difficult in the beginning because you're not used to exercising your brain in that way. So now that when you're sober, you're going to exercise your brain with problem solving, not accepting problems. Like when an animal gets sick, it takes a human being to help that animal out. Otherwise, he could stay there and die, helpless. We human beings, when we get sick, we work our brains out to get ourselves back to health. And with the drug addicted person, he has all of these people to help him. You got the counselor, the social worker, the psychiatrist. He has God, the greatest power ever known to mankind. And the church, that's why I got a shirt, tie on, suit. So, it's like, we want to know I'm not in this alone. My addiction cannot hurt me once the drug's out of my body. He can't come and get me. I'm in control. So with relapse prevention, number one, there's a difference between my drug, jumbled up, out of control brain and my sober brain. And now that my brain is sober, I'm going to use all of my strengths to beat them. Courage, mental and moral strength, the ability to withstand danger, fear, or difficulty. That's in my genes. Intelligence, logic, reasoning, all of these things I have that I can fight him. All he has is thoughts and feelings to fight me. So we're going to win this battle, and we're going to keep talking about it. Remember the book, Drug Addiction, the Most Powerful Enemy Against It, A Recovering Sober Mind. You can purchase it on jharris.westwoodbookspublishing.com, jharris.westwoodbooks.publishing.com. You can purchase it on Amazon.com and Barnes & Noble. So hopefully I'll be talking to you soon, and I'm sure I will be, because I'm not going to give up on you guys. I'm going to keep talking. Subscribe to my channel and get the book so you can learn more about how to beat this fella. It's all there. Also, the first chapter is stages of progression that people can use for prevention, especially those young people. All righty. God bless.